far away from here, you know what I mean? I've been thinking about it for a long time. See, let's go to Africa. Yo, I've never been more serious in my life. I mean, we've been to the islands, we've been everywhere. Who says we can't go to Africa? That's our dream, to go to our homeland, where our roots are.
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
We're taking our talents to Africa.
To Africa. To Ghana.
Africa.
Africa?
No.
What? What? Oh my god, this is big news!
Good day, I'm Dale,
And I'm Dacia.
and we decided to get off of the hamster wheel and give the keys back to America and move to Ghana. We are in the middle of our own transition, and our release date is fast approaching. And we want to thank you for joining us here today on our YouTube channel, Off the Wheel, which is a community of Black Americans like us who are either moving to Africa and or are interested in investing in Africa. We believe that because of a lot of factors, many of which will be covered today, that there's never been a better time for Black Americans to consider a move to Africa or to invest in Africa. Before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and set up for alerts. And again, the value we intend on bringing to this channel is to share our transition, but at some point our transition will be in back of us. Then we'll be focusing on topics to assist Black Americans in making their own personal decision to make the move, but also to continue to examine the optimal intersection of Black American capital and Ghanaian needs. Today, both Dacia and I will be giving our own top 5 reasons for moving to Ghana. I do want to make sure that you viewers don't think we're romanticizing Ghana, that it's the perfect place without its own set of flaws, that we understand the challenges that come with Americans moving to Ghana. Okay, so let's count down each of our own top 5 reasons, starting with 5, going to number 1. Our number 1 top reason for moving to Ghana. And remember, we did not look at each other's top 5 lists, so we'll be hearing for the first time just like you. So we're going to start with Dacia's number 5 reason for leaving America or moving to Ghana?
Well, I guess my number 5 reason is I'm a traveler. I like to see different parts of the world. Africa is somewhere I've never been before, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to explore the continent on my own terms, in our own time frame. And I think that just the exploring of Africa is going to bring a new energy to me specifically. I feel like here I'm being drained of energy, so I think that the new experiences will help to maybe sculpt and change my mind, and just build my life in a different way that I didn't expect. There's so many things that we take for granted every day here in the United States, and sometimes I think it's a humbling experience to go somewhere just to remind yourself that you are lucky, that you are in a position to be able to help others, but also to change the mindset of others. So I think that's my number 5 reason right now for wanting to move to Ghana.
Okay. So, my number 5 reason is the proliferation of guns here in America. And what that leads to, and related things associated with a lot of guns, more crime here at home, etc. What I like about Ghana, which is probably the same for any other country, not America, is that there are no guns, meaning very few guns. And even when it comes to crime, having few guns leads to a different kind of crime risk, I would say. So it was strange waking up in Ghana each morning and not hearing about how many people were robbed, shot, stabbed, if there were any mass shootings, subway shootings. So guns will always be a part of America, as it was so important to America that it was the Second Amendment and is viewed as a fundamental right and so much of being the identity of America. So this is one of those things where it appears as though I'm running away from something, guns, but I prefer to view it as I'm running towards something which is more peace and safety in Ghana. So that's my top 5 reason.
Okay. So my number 4 reason is I am Caribbean born and raised, and I just feel so different in a warmer climate, not having to change to winter clothes and masks and boots. And I think I've been through that here in New York. I mean, someone would say, well, why not move to a warmer climate?
Florida.
But there are other reasons that will come up later on as to why it wasn't one of those places. But I just feel happier. I feel more energetic. And also allow me to explore. One of the things that I keep talking about Ghana is gardening and cultivating. I've always wanted to grow my own, herbs, and so that, because I love to cook. So that would be something that I'm looking forward to doing, and I can do that year round, picking from my garden. In addition to that, just being in nature, being able to explore nature where my ancestors had walked, had fished, had raised their families. So for me, it's this partially a spiritual reason when it comes to the climate that I wanted to move to Ghana.
All right.
Yes.
My number 4 reason for moving would be the strength of the U.S. dollar. Reading about the strength of the U.S. dollar is one thing, but actually being there and benefiting in person is another thing. We have an entire video coming up comparing the costs of living here in America versus Ghana, so look out for that. But the strong U.S. dollar goes a long way in both finding really good living arrangements, but also investing in other businesses or your own business. But the strength of the US dollar is a big deal.
For me, my third reason is really just how black men, boys are portrayed in the media, how we expect negative so much quicker than we represent positive. And I think that affects me in the sense that you're looking at your husband, you're looking at your father, you're looking at your nephews as being, the leaders of a household in the future, but I feel like they've already been pigeonholed that they're not going to succeed. And when I went to Ghana for the very first time, that thought didn't even cross my mind, because in every era that I saw, let's say a father with a son or a husband in a position of power, or not even if it was power, but selling something on the street, whatever the situation, it never crossed my mind that this person is not hardworking, that they're not feeding their families, that they're not successful, or they don't have the opportunity to be successful. But here in America, I feel that we look so much, we're so quick to judge so much quicker just from how a person looks and not giving them a chance. And when I was in Ghana, I didn't feel like I had to make any kind of judgment. They just were. And, I think that as you live here, the media and what's fed to you, you start to kind of like believe it. And I really don't want my mind to stray in that direction. I really wanted it to be just look at the positive first before anticipating what could be, negative all the time. So that would be my number 3 reason for wanting to move to Ghana.
The portrayal of black men, black people,
Right.
in media.
Right. Yes.
My number 3 reason to move to Ghana is race relations. And while it didn't occur to me off the plane right away, it didn't hit me until I got back home. And it reminds me when a fellow American who's also moving to Ghana told me he was so surprised to feel like what it felt like to be white. And we don't want to be white, but the freedom of not having the chronic burden of being in a land that was not created for you from inception. And yes, we have both done well in life, but the burden is real, even if it's not happening to us every day. Another race relations topic for me is that you can't predict how never having to see another Karen will impact you. The freedom from whites in America that wherever you show up, they're always in your business for no damn reason. Barbecuing while black, sunbathing while black, reading while black. We've seen the stories. So, dear Karen, I will not miss you. Also, not having to think of yourself as the black person in the room, looking to give the nod to the other black person in the room. When I first worked at Lehman Brothers, there were no black people. And by the time I left, there were a sprinkling of black people. And I think I experienced then, almost 30 years ago, what many, I'm the only one at my company, blacks still do, and that is having to be the voice of all black people. Having those weird, awkward moments at the workplace whenever there's a race issue. And what the last election proved to me is that half of America still thinks that the other people that don't look like them are costing them jobs, opportunities, and infringing on their ways of life. They believe in weird things that are not looking to share America with anyone, even those that are not here by no choice of their own. So Dacia and I sometimes joke that we're just a few senators, governor elections away from the Handmaid's Tale. So that would be my number 3 reason for leaving race relations.
Okay. So for me, I would ram up to number
Number
two.
two.
Number two. So I remember when we came back from Ghana in April, and while we were gone for that week, there was subway shooting on a train, our train near where we live. I often get on the R train. He gets on the R train every day, and there was 3 mass shootings as well after we came back. We had the Buffalo, we had a Uvalde shooting in Texas, and we also had a Tulsa shooting as well. And, it just kind of heightened my distaste for partially guns, but also for just how regulations take so long to pass, especially when it hurts so many people and the most vulnerable of people. And just to top it all off, between January and today, we've had over 250 mass shootings in the United States. And although this wasn't one of the reasons initially to move to Ghana, it just sort of solidified why moving there is going to be better for me mentally, right? Because what also happens is that when you have that many mass shootings, you actually become a little numb to it. And also your compassion level also changes because you're like, oh, it's another mass, and you move on. I don't want to become that type of person. So I'm not saying that I want to run away from the U.S. like he kind of said in one of his statements, but I want to know that I'm running to something, whether it's to, a clearer mind or to, a more peaceful society. I don't know. But I know that I don't want to see that every single day when I wake up. I don't want to worry that if I'm going to get on the train today, is this the day that, someone's going to decide that they want to push someone off the train tracks, and that might be me, push someone down the steps. Every day if I travel on the train, I have to go make sure I'm standing in a particular place to make me the least vulnerable to being thrown or pushed. Also, I have to know my vantage point, who's coming down the stairs, who's going up the stairs, who's coming out of the train, where on the train I'm sitting, who's already on the train before I get on the train. Like all of these things you have to think about. And I don't want to have to live in that way anymore. I'm pretty much, I think I'm done with that. And we joke, it's a joke but not funny. Every day I say to him, I just want to make it to get to Ghana. Like I'm at that point where I just want to get on the plane and get to Ghana, and I feel safer. I mean, anything can happen to you at anywhere in the world. Believe us, we know that. We're not naive to that, but we just want to get there. And I think that for us is just going to be, the icing on the cake. So that's my number 2 reason.
So my number 2 reason, America is losing its shine. Remember the terms that a certain party used to use, American exceptionalism? When America thought it was the best at everything, even in things that it wasn't. For me, I think most people forget that America, or the idea of America and democracy, its version of democracy, is a work in progress. And this version of democracy with these citizens has yet to be determined if it's a success or not. I personally don't think things will get a lot better for Black Americans outside of the bubbles that we live in. I think there's like a 40% chance that things will get maybe slightly better, 50-50, 55% chance that things will get slightly worse, but I think there's a 5% chance that things will get really bad. And I don't trust how this experiment here in America might turn out. The financial outlook for most Black Americans has changed. If you're lucky enough to have bought a house or saved a bunch of money, you're going to be less impacted. But for others, moving somewhere else is the only way now to not work to death until retirement. Rents keep going up, home prices keep going up, food prices go up, salaries, not so much. the version of capitalism that America has been practicing, greed over people, has made America an unsustainable way of life for 95% of Americans. And I believe eventually all the things that we're giving to numb away the hopelessness, legalized weed, legalized gambling, more holidays, whatever, can't work forever. So that's my number two reason that America is on the decline.
So my number one reason for moving to Ghana is that I love starting adventures with you. Surprise. So moving to Ghana without him wouldn't be. I know we've said like really weird, morbid things, like if something happens to me or happens to you, we're still going to pursue our journey, but it wouldn't be the same. So I think my number one is that because we're putting our efforts in together, because we make a plan, we go over the plan, we revise the plan, really makes moving to Ghana something that I know that we can do and I know that we can succeed. Having a partner who doesn't tell you all the time what you want to hear is actually a good thing, because I always say, oh, I want this, I want to do this. Well, then he'll stop me and say, okay, you want to do this, then this has to be done. Oh, if you want to get this is what we have to do. Oh, so it's having someone who kind of tells you like it is, but then gives you the facts behind the answer. And that's very important when you're starting a journey. When you're doing what we're doing, which is almost so extreme, moving to another continent, moving to somewhere we've never been, moving to somewhere we don't know anyone, we have no family, all we have is his DNA that says he's from Ghana.
Check out that video if you have it.
And that we were all from Africa, but sharing the journey with you, having you there to be the support, I know we're not going to fail. So that's my number one reason for wanting to move to Ghana.
Well, I just want to throw my number one reason in the garbage now. I mean, okay, I should have gone first. But that was touching, thank you. I mean, I feel, now that you brought it up, we talk about it all the time. I think we find strength in each other to be able to do what other people consider to be extreme, radical thing, like moving to another country where we don't have any tangible connections and relationships. It seems crazy to most. And it might be crazy. And sometimes when we see other people document their transition as single people, they don't always make it. And we look at those people and go, they're crazy. But I guess, when you have the support of a loved one, a spouse, a partner in crime, you feel like you can almost do anything. I mean, we sometimes joke about if we get over there and things don't work out so well for us, how would we tighten our belts and what would we compromise on? And we talk like that because at the end of the day, as long as we got each other, anything is possible and anything is doable. So yeah, that was a good number one.
Thank you.
That was a good number one. So my number one reason for leaving America to move to Ghana is the opportunity and the blessing to take ourselves, our lived experiences, our energy, our expertise, our money to a new team. In America here, we work hard and we care. But no matter how much we work and care, the results of our work and money contribute to the projects and initiatives that don't always benefit us, and sometimes they hurt us. Our tax money goes to people who would wish us harm in this country. Here we played at the top levels in our respective industries. We survived, we thrived, and now it's time for a new challenge. We're ready to contribute to the growth of Ghana. Super excited about that. We are really excited to connect with all of the Ghanaians that have reached out and showed love and want to connect and partner and just dream big and build together. So that is what I'm most excited about, that two people like us at the top of our lives, we're healthy, we're youngish, we see where we could come to Ghana and contribute in some ways, and we're open-minded and open-eared to know that we don't have all the answers. We're ready to understand how we can fit in best. And so, you know, the sports analogy really works for me because sometimes you can be a sports player and you can go to a team and it's really not a good fit and you don't always reach your full potential, and the team, you know, you're benefiting them to a degree, but they don't really like you. And then you decide as a player, what is the best team for me, for us? And then you identify that team and you see what the potential could be. And so that's how I feel, like we're taking our talents to a new team. So those are our reasons. Now, we ask you, if you were to move, what would be the reasons you list? Let me list some of the reasons Black Americans are thinking about leaving the States for Africa. We've heard these reasons from friends, from family, at the workplace, on YouTube. So we know there's racism, possibility of being killed by a cop, guns, mass shootings, government overthrow, the crappy political climate, gentrification, healthcare or not affording healthcare, a spiritual journey home, the pandemic, business opportunities, the strength of the US dollar. Those are just a few. Have you ever thought about these topics before? We're interested to hear what you have to say. So leave your comments as well as your own top 5 under our YouTube comments section. So please subscribe to our channel. And if you're moving, please join our group. If you're interested in joining our investment group to be kept up to date on our real estate project that we have coming up, we're working on something big, please reach out to us. So thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you again soon. And to the Ghanaians who are watching this, please keep sending us love and what's needed. And to the Americans who are considering, please keep reaching out to us and talking about ways you want to get involved. And I think the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. Thank you.